Hi Dollar Divas, long time no see. I know it's been a minute. I did want to do a chatty get ready with me and catch you guys up on what's been going on for the last month or so. I've got some new Dollar Tree makeup that I've collected that I'm going to test out, and I've still got some other stuff too, but I can only use so many highlighters and things like that in this video. So we're going to do some of the makeup I have found recently because I'd catch you up. If you are new to my channel, my name is Jessica and I like to do a lot of Dollar Tree and dollar store oriented makeup and shopping content. So if that is your thing, you are definitely in the right place. Of course, if you're returning, thank you so much for coming on back. I have missed each and every one of you. And I appreciate some of the messages and kind of asking where I am and how I'm doing. And I hate that it's been this long again. But anyways, it has been, but I wanted to film this chatty get ready with me. And so here it is. So without any further chit chat, let's just go ahead and get into today's video. So I'm going to be putting this Ioni Face Hydrating Primer on my face. I haven't really used this in quite a minute. And yeah, so it feels really good. I've been kind of using primers a little bit more lately, just because they kind of feel good. And I felt like my skin has needed like a little extra, like, I don't know, little extra help these days. That stuff is silky. I think I've only used it once as of yet. I'm going to use an eyeshadow primer as well, but I'm going to do my eyebrows first. This is not new. I'm just using my Broadway Colors eyebrow kit, and now I use like the darkest shade of brown with my hair being darker. And as far as having my hair darker, so, you know, if you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I've been blonde for several years. So I just recently dyed my hair back to brown, which is like, of course, like my natural color. Other than it being salt and pepper, I do have some eyeshadow covering my roots because I really need to dye my roots. But as far as like performing on stage, I'm loving my hair being dark. As far as not being on stage, I'm not really digging it. I cut my bangs like a few weeks ago because I've had bangs for years as well. And they just, I don't know if it's the fact that my hair is getting a little healthier or what, but like the texture of my hair is just like, it's different, you know? And I do not like the way my bangs, like when my bangs are styled, they look good. They look a little heavier, of course, being darker. I think they were a little bit lighter on my face, of course, when my hair was lighter. But when my hair dries, like if I just air dry my hair, my bangs do the weirdest little like kind of weird wave. Like they just do not, it's just, I don't know, it's harder for me to feel like they look good. So I'm in the process of also growing up my bangs. I might do kind of like long, like a curtain bang or something like that. But as far as like bang-bangs, like, you know what I mean? Like actual bangs. I think I'm gonna have to let it go. So yeah, you win some, you lose some. Like I said, overall, I really do like being dark haired, you know. I'm getting a little bit tan at the moment because I'm just outside more, and so yeah, overall I'm digging it. Of course it's easier, but yeah, overall I'm digging it. I really should start wearing my hair down more, especially with it being healthier, but I'm just not in that habit yet. So I don't know why I decided to start there, but that is where I started. I guess because that's a change for me this year for sure. Kind of a big one. I know it seems stupid, but it is kind of a big change. I'm having a little trouble with my eyebrows because I've got some of the primer near my eyes, and it's very like slick. So I'm kind of struggling a bit. That'll be fine. It all comes out in the wash. So I'm going to clean up under my brows with some concealer. This is from the Dollar Tree. I got it a while back. It's the Milani Retouch and Erase Concealer. Don't know which shade. It's medium light. So we're going to go in with this for under my brows. So I think where I left off, so my show, if you are new to my channel, you're going to learn some stuff about me, and hopefully you'll go back and binge watch some of my videos. But yeah, if you are, someone that's been with me for a while, I know a lot of you are probably curious what's going on with my Selena show. We've had some major developments, and of course, still things are still going to be developing. So long story short, I think where we left it was I was kind of waiting to see what would happen with the people that I work for here in town. Have connections in Las Vegas because they have a show out there, and actually a couple shows out there now, one of the hotel and casinos. And there was some interest and some talk in me doing my show out there in some capacity. I did a snippet. I didn't really do the show, but I did just my Selena tribute for the first time out in Las Vegas this past December. and it went over really well. It was actually an employee party, and of course, you know, they've got this hotel and casino has like 2,000 employees, and like 60% of them are of like Hispanic descent. So they loved my Selena tribute. They just absolutely loved it. And, you know, a lot of people do, not even just the Hispanic people, but just everyone, you know, a lot of people really they just love her, you know. Now I'm going to go in with some eyeshadow primer. This is the LA Colors eye primer. This is the one that is the matte finish. So kind of after some time and some kind of going back and forth, kind of on the part of the people that I work for here, they, you know, they were kind of out there a little bit, and they were kind of trying to get it to where I could do my show out there. And apparently some of the higher ups at this hotel and casino were kind of pushing for it as well. And at the time, it was just kind of like, it was like the bird in hand, you know. It was like, okay, this is not necessary. I didn't, like, see, when I designed the show, so my show is 45 minutes long. It's not necessarily designed for like a theater or to sell tickets. It's kind of designed more for like a resort or like a cruise ship, like where people don't have to buy a ticket. It's just like provided entertainment. So to do it in Las Vegas, the idea is people would have to like buy a ticket. Well, a 45-minute show isn't really desirable necessarily. Like, it should be like an hour and 10 minutes with like no intermission, or like an hour and 20 or an hour and a half. So, you know, it's not ideal, but you know, we were kind of looking at some different options on what I could do. So I got this little eyeshadow duo. It's by LA Colors. These are amazing. I've got several of these. This was a new, these were new colors, and I love blue. And so this is just LA Colors eyeshadow duo in blue. It's got like a matte and a shimmer, and I'm going to use like to darken it up and kind of make like a little bit of a smoky eye. I'm going to use the darker shades in this little LA Colors quad. I'm going to start with the matte shade first. These generally are pretty pigmented. And so we ended up putting together like a little sizzle reel, which is like a promo reel, if you're not familiar with that term, like a little video that kind of showcases what you do. We kind of did one real quick. My boss was like, I'm out here in Vegas and I want to show them, you know, a video. So we kind of put it together really fast. My husband did. And we got it sent out, and they were interested. Now the person highest up wasn't really quite sold on the idea, to be honest. Like a bunch of people under this person were, but not like the person kind of right at the very top. But so she was convinced. She got, you know, mildly convinced enough to kind of give us the go ahead. I'm gonna kind of darken up the outside with, I think I'm gonna start with the darkest shade here and then maybe build it up with some of the gray. I don't know, I'm just kind of making this up as I go along. Of course, that eyeshadow is really nice and pigmented, as these always are. So, you know, we have a little bit of money that we could invest to like put on a show, because, you know, you're not always guaranteed to make money, you know, and like ideally I would have just been paid like however much to do a show. Kind of like, you know, like if you put money in it and take a risk, you know, your reward is greater, but I'm not generally a big risk, big reward type of person. So ideally, like I would have just been paid to have gone out there and done the show. But the deal that was sent in, it was a wonderful opportunity, and not that we couldn't have done it, like we could have, you know, we could have swung the money to have done it. And honestly, it probably would have made some money, you know what I mean? We're just assuming, we always think in terms of losing money, but honestly, it probably would have made some money. You know what I mean? Maybe not a lot, but it would have made some money. But we got like a contract, and we were going to do it like a couple days in early May. And when it came right down to it, it just, to make it worth our while, we would have to really just invest a lot of time and a lot of money. And ultimately, the prize would be that if it was successful, I would have to go out there and kind of live out there. And so I don't really want, my husband and I, especially my husband, he doesn't, you know, he just feels like he's just, if he said if this was 10 years ago, he would kind of have the gumption to go for it and do it. But, you know, it's just now we're not really wanting to build something in that way, you know what I mean? Because like ideally, you know, you have to put like years into something like that. And so kind of without just going there and just getting paid and like coming home, the idea, you know, the prize, I kind of digress. The prize would be eventually, you know, really what you'd be striving for is the show to be so successful that they would want it more. And ultimately, I don't want to live in Las Vegas. Like, I just don't. And I didn't want to get so deep into it and have a bunch of people kind of counting on it only to back out at a worse time because I really don't want to move out here, live out here, you know what I mean, type of thing. I'm going to go into the shimmery shade now in this duo. I am going to wet my brush. So ultimately, it just wasn't the right opportunity. And, you know, it kind of morphed. It kind of like when we first started talking about Las Vegas, it was kind of something a little different than kind of what it ended up becoming. I thought more people were on board with it than actually were. I didn't realize it would be just like this huge risk thing. I just thought it would be a little bit more like come out here, get paid, do it, and we'll go from there. But so it was just a little different. Like I said, it was a wonderful, wonderful opportunity, and I have never struggled so hard making a decision about something in my entire life. It was not an easy decision to make, but I feel like it was right, you know, and you know, so there's that. That was not an easy thing. I'm gonna go back into that dark shade and just kind of blend it in a little bit. I might even go into like the kind of shimmery gray shade as well. But also too, it wouldn't have just been me doing my 45-minute show. They wanted an hour and 10 minutes. So you do the math, that's 25 extra minutes. They also didn't really like the idea. Say, okay, the show that I have that's designed for cruise ships, and there's so many like rights and licensing things I'm gonna probably have to figure out for the future. Basically, it just like runs. You hit go and the show just runs. I come out in a costume and then I change 3 other times. And I kind of recreate different times in Selena's life. There's like 4 parts that I do. And in between, gives me time to change. It is a one-woman show. There's like interviews and pictures, and my husband wrote a script and we got someone to do like a voiceover. So it's like part like documentary, but those little sections are short but concise. They kind of take you through her life and all that stuff. And then I come out in a different costume and do music from that time of her life and career. And so they didn't really like that idea. So it was kind of decided that I would have to do like an hour and 10-minute kind of concert style show, so I would have to add 25 minutes. And I wasn't like opposed to doing it. It's just the only reason I ever decided to do a one-woman show to begin with. And I'm not like the best entertainer in the world, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like this captivating personality where I can like just stand out there and be out there for an hour and 10 minutes and entertain people. So that was a little uncomfortable, like a little bit of an uncomfortable idea for me. I still wanted to do costume changes, so we would have had like, in lieu of the documentary segments, hold that thought. I have a new mascara. Of course I'm gonna be wearing false lashes, but I had vowed to never again like buy mascara from the Dollar Tree, but they had a new brand, La Mercerie, or Ray, whatever. It's a volumizing mascara. It was different. It's not LA Colors, so I was like, let me give it a try. My hopes are 0 that this will be great, but I can be wrong. That's what the brush looks like. It looks promising. I mean, it looks like something you buy at the drugstore. It's actually pretty decent, honestly. My lashes are sad. You know, I wear false lashes like all the time, which means I constantly have lashes getting ripped out, and they're short anyway. It's really, honestly, I don't know if you can see it very well, but I think it's actually the best mascara I have tried from the Dollar Tree. Seriously, yeah. I mean, I feel it does about as good a job, and that's just really kind of like one coat. So I'll try a second coat and we'll see. So where was I? So yeah, I would have to, so I was gonna just kind of replace like the documentary style portions with like a song, and then I'd have to hire a couple dancers to kind of dance. That way I can make a costume change to keep this hour and 10-minute long show interesting, you know. But I would also have had to have added like a couple extra songs, and everything would have had to have been full length, because right now I do some medleys. I cut down the songs. They're not full length songs, you know, because it's got to fit in this time period. That's a big show business thing. You don't, like, even the shows that I do where I live, like the theater that I work at, we don't do full songs. We cut everything down. They're all shortened versions so you can get more stuff in. So I would have to learn, like, you know, a couple of Selena songs. I already knew the second verses and all that stuff, but I've since learned a couple of the second verses and stuff in some of the other songs, but I would have had to have learned 2 more songs. And I don't know, it just, generally you cut things down too so it stays entertaining. It was a little bit of a scary thought. It was just, you know, and I would have talked in between. I don't really do a lot of talking now in the show that we have written. And I could have done that. None of that is beyond like my capability or anything like that. You know, like I said, it just wasn't initially what I'd set out to do when I set out to write the show. Not to say that sometimes better opportunities don't come, because they absolutely do. And like I said, I think for someone else, or my situation was just a little different, it'd be a great opportunity, but I felt the right thing was to turn it down. So I did. So, you know, I guess in a lot of ways I had an opportunity to possibly be a Las Vegas headliner entertainer, and I let it go. And that was, like I said, a hard pill to swallow. You know, and it very well could have not ended up that way, but so yeah, that's where that is currently. So I do have some new Ioni lashes. There's a bunch of different styles. I just picked out these ones. These were the Ioni. They're from the Born Wildflower line, and they're the Wispy Fluffy Curl Light Crisscross. Actually, on the back it says Lash Garden. So they come in all these like flowery packs. And I thought these ones were really pretty. So I always have to trim these. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just do that, because like I already know they're gonna be too long for my face. Of course, I'm gonna use my Ioni Everlasting Lash Glue and Liner. Amazing. So now the show ain't dead. I'm still totally planning on, you know, moving forward and finding places to do the show. Of course, I'm always welcome to do it at the theater that I work at. Only thing is, you know, like I said, it's not designed to sell tickets. And so I would either have to have hire another act to fill up the time, because 45 minutes just isn't really enough for a show. You know, kind of the style of shows that we have here that people generally are used to. Or I would again have to make it longer. So it just hasn't been ideal to like do again since I did it in February, but I'm still not opposed. But what I've been kind of working on like the last 3 weeks with the show, and this is part of the reason why I haven't filmed too, is that I've been working on, we made like a really quick sizzle reel like my husband did, but it didn't really show off the fact that it was a docu-musical. Well, what we call a docu-musical. It's, you know, it didn't really showcase that it has like these documentary pieces in it. So I wanted to kind of take hold of the doing it myself. And so it has been like, I edit videos all the time for like YouTube. Like, you know, I've been doing this now for years, but doing something with music tracks and video, and like I'm using separate audio, because like some of the footage that I have, I've got different like footage from different angles and from different, like couple different venues, like when I did it in Las Vegas and all this stuff, and I'm using separate audio tracks. And this has by far been like the hardest video I've like ever edited, and it has taken like, sometimes I could work on it for 2 hours. One day I worked on it for like 8. Sometimes I could only work on it for like 10 minutes. Like it just depended on like my attention span. So I just couldn't really the last thing I wanted to do was like edit like a YouTube video. So I really kind of had to take a break. These are really beautiful. Really, really, really beautiful. Not too long, wispy, they curl, absolutely stunning. Okay, so I'll finish my eyes. Of course, I'm gonna move on to the face. Nothing new. I have just got my Sassy Chic, my new color, moisturizing foundation in medium. So I am, you know, still editing a sizzle reel. I would like to try my hand at like being a cruise ship guest entertainer. I don't have any like immediate plans to go and do that, because I love my job. But you know, I'm at an age where, you know, I'd like to make more money and, you know, get more bang for my buck. Like basically, you know, guest entertainers get paid really well on a cruise ship, and not like the performers that are there in like the production shows. You know, they make, you know, they just make like, you know, it's comparable to like what I do now. But the guest entertainers usually like they work like one day. You know, they might do their show twice. You know, they're like a specialty thing. You know, you kind of have to have an actor show, and they make really good money. And you know, I think this is the time, if I want to do that, this is the time for me to try. And I have a product, and God willing, you know, they may or may not be interested. I don't know. Like I said, I think I still have some like copyright stuff to kind of work out, which is a thing. It's not impossible. There's ways around it, you know, and things like that. So there's stuff to figure out. And, you know, and they do have to be interested. They have to find that the show is entertaining enough that they can put it, that they feel that their clients will like it. So it's not a guarantee, but I am going to try. You know, best case scenario, it'll take a while for it to kind of pan out anyway, but I do have to try. You know what I mean? Like I can't just let it die. I can't just let it stop here, you know. I'm going to go back in with my concealer under my eyes. This has like one of those little sponge things, but I'm not really going to use it. I'm just going to kind of apply it and then like use my brush. So I'm looking into doing that. Actually, it's taken me about almost a month to do my, kind of get my video where I want it. And of course, you know, Is it ever perfect? Is it ever like fully done? Is there always something you can probably do to make it better in your own eyes? Absolutely. But I kind of got it up, and then I contacted a friend of mine because she's kind of the one that gave me this idea to begin with. And so if she can help at all, I'm open to her help. And if she can't, you know, of course I'll just do it. But so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm kind of glad to be done with the video. Of course, I'm gonna, you know, kind of show some people and get some feedback and whatnot. But generally speaking, I think I've done about all I can do. And of course, I'm still working. I don't work a whole lot. I still do like a 60s, 70s, 80s kind of like rock and roll show. You know, we've got some patriotic and stuff like that in it. And we do, I do that about 3 days a week. And then I still fill in for the Motown show. I do that about once a week as well. So I'm doing about 4 shows a week, which isn't a lot. You know, it's not a lot. So like work has not really been my excuse. Not in the last couple of weeks. We've had a lot of, we have had some, interesting things happen that I have done quite a bit of rehearsing this year, kind of above and beyond what I normally would do. We've had and the powder I use is this Be Pure Essentially Ageless blurring pressed powder. I used this not too long ago in a Get Ready With Me. I just kind of put it under my eyes and all that stuff. Now I'm just gonna kind of set all of my makeup with a brush. So it's settled out a little bit here. We're supposed to like rehearse for another show that we're putting in the theater. Theater just does it. You know, it can certain times of the year take up a lot of your time. You know. Then I'm gonna use this. I haven't used this in a while. It's the LA Colors bronzer. This is in Baked. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of this. I'm pretty tan at the moment, kind of by accident. I really haven't meant to. I haven't really been trying. So yeah, that's just kind of going. I mean, it's kind of a weird time for me, I'll be completely honest. My voice is doing really very great. You know, we're in the throes of allergy season, and for years I didn't take allergy medicine other than like Flonase, because I had a laryngologist when I was a teenager tell me that I don't need to take any of it. So, of course, I've struggled with, you know, nodules and stuff. And honestly, I think I've had nodules since I was a teenager, you know. So I've really struggled vocally, if you've been with me for a while. This year is like my best year yet, and I've been taking allergy medicine. I read that Allegra is like the least drying, and so I take either a quarter or a half of an Allegra morning and night. So sometimes I just do a half a pill for the day, and I do like a quarter in the morning, quarter at night, or I'll do like, on some bad days, I'll do half in the morning, half at night. Then I do my Flonase and I neti pot, and I have struggled very little. So very, if there's one thing that's just going seamlessly, it's that. Of course, I still wish my voice was like better, but like, it's been this is like the best year I have had since, let's see, I started having problems about 3 years ago. It was like May, the COVID year. And this is really the best I have been, and I'm just so amazed. I'm going back into that palette, that quad, and just doing the light color up here. I'm kind of skipping around. I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. But yeah, so vocally I'm doing very well. My voice is, you know, it's not always like 100%, but like I'm trusting it more. I'm just trusting that some of my falsetto notes that are, you know, sometimes questionable, they're generally there. And so vocally I'm doing so much better this year. So I'm gonna go into, I have a couple Ioni products that I found. These are really cute. Like, look at how cute these are. The little packaging, their packaging is always super cute. I have a blush and I have a highlighter. The blush is in Glam Peach. That's like really pretty, isn't it? So I'm gonna put like a pop of this on. It's probably gonna be really bright. And as usual, I went overboard, but that's okay. Just kind of blend it in. Very pigmented. They have really nice blushes. And that's all for that. And now I'm going to use the highlighter. This is in Glow Up. And it's just kind of a very soft, not really pink, just kind of a neutral shade, I guess you could say. Their highlighters are really nice too. And I've been struggling like heck to get my pool open this year. And for the first time, this is the 6th year I've owned my pool, I'm gonna have to call somebody to come open it for me. Cannot get it clear this year. And it's so depressing and defeating. I've been trying for like the last week. So there's that. So I'm calling pool companies and hope someone can come out here and help me, because I need my pool this summer. Like, I cannot not have my pool. Like, I will die. Like, seriously. And so I've had this for a while. It's from Hard Candy. It's a Stroke of Gorgeous Soft Glide eyeliner, and it's like a silver. And I'm gonna put this in my waterline. Honestly, I don't know if it's doing a whole lot. Oh yeah, it's a little brighter. You just gotta, this should be a little bit smoother, I feel, but it's not. That's okay, I did a little something. And then, I don't remember if I think I used this in a Get Ready With Me. They have a gold one as well, but this is the silver, it's the Be Pure Glitter Liquid Shadow, and this is in like a silver shade. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this in the corner of my eyes. I'm gonna get a little brush. So yeah, you know, like I said, when I'm not on YouTube, I do miss like even with YouTube, you know, if you've been with me for a while, you know, I've never been this as inconsistent as I've been in the last 6 months with my channel. That is not the way I've been the entire time I've had my channel. It's been almost 4 years. The last 6 months have been a little hard for me with YouTube as well, you know. I guess, you know, I'm human, and I'm just gonna be completely honest that I'm not as far along as I hoped I'd be after 4 years. You know, so that's been a little disappointing, and I've almost left, but there's just something in me that can't completely let it go. And I guess, you know, and really it comes down to the people, you know, kind of staying in touch with all of you. And so that has kept me from, even though I haven't been very consistent, it has always kept me coming back. I'd be lying if I said I have not struggled lately with YouTube a bit, like I said, because I am human. So, but just know that I miss each and every one of you when I'm not posting, and you guys truly are the reason I come back and film videos. There's no other reason to do it. You know what I mean? If it isn't for the people, you know what I mean? I can put makeup on, I can shop at Dollar Tree, I can do all those things without doing YouTube, you know what I mean? So it's the people on the other, you know, it's you know what I mean, on the other side that keep me doing this, you know what I mean? So last but certainly not least, I've got the LA Colors Nude Glam Lip Gloss. They had several different shades. I only picked up what really spoke to me. This shade is called Cuddles. I have so many lip products, so put this on. I thought this would be pretty. It's a whole lot more pigmented than I thought it would be. Of course, I have a couple of their lipsticks, the Nude Glam Lime, that I got a couple years ago or last year sometime. That's really pretty. Like I said, it's a whole lot more, I would say it's more pigmented. Kind of wears a little bit more like a lipstick than like a lip gloss. Very silky though. That's like really pretty. So like, yeah, I'm like digging this look. I think it's really pretty. Of course, the eyeshadows never disappoint. The Ioni products never disappoint. Yeah, the lip gloss is pretty. So yeah, super fun products. Really glad to finally have gotten to try some of them. Like I said, I have a couple more items as well. That will have to be another day. And I believe I'm gonna have some empties videos coming up. I believe I have still like a Dollar Tree empties that is part of my last batch of videos. So that will go up first, and then I'll have like a new one, a new Dollar Tree empties, and then like a new regular empties. So yeah, definitely I'm still working on that Dollar Tree favorites and fails that I mentioned like a month ago. I just still want to kind of gather some more products. So anyways, I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff that I left out that's been going on. I try not to talk your ear off too much. In a nutshell, that's just kind of what's been going on, and I never mean to stay away as long as I do sometimes, but just know, because I love y'all, I will always come back. And so I do want to be a little bit more consistent. Things have just been 2023 has been good, but a little different. So, but all is well in my world. Things are at times uncomfortable, but good. So just know that, and good to sit here and chat with you all, and I will see you again next time.